If it hurts, let it hurt, just don't stop, whispered the alien empress to her human. The twin moons of Varentha glowed like cold lanterns above the shattered battlefield. Smoke curled in lazy spirals, drifting over broken star metal, fallen banners, and the silent forms of warriors who had fought under 1,000 different suns. The final echoes of war had faded, but the weight of everything that had happened pressed heavily upon the one surviving human left standing. Commander Elias Ward. His armor was cracked, scorched, and barely holding together. His knees trembled from exhaustion, but he forced himself upright as the golden procession approached, an entourage of tall, silver-skinned attendants who moved with ethereal precision. And at their center, walking like a living storm wrapped in silken light, Empress Scifi, ruler of the Scifi Dominion, the most feared sovereign in 3 galaxies, and, impossibly, the being who had come to value one fragile human above all others. Her steps were slow, deliberate. She studied him with those luminous amethyst eyes that seemed to see beyond bone and blood, straight into the soul itself. "You survived," she said softly. Elias tried to straighten. "I promised I would." Scifi dismissed the attendants with a single gesture. When they were alone, her expression changed, hard edges melting into something gentler, something she revealed to no one else. "Come," she murmured. "You're wounded." He almost laughed. "Almost. You should see the other guy." Her lips curved. "I have." "There is no other guy." Elias finally let himself breathe. But the silence that followed was heavy, not with relief, but with everything unspoken. Because the war was not over. Not yet. Beginning, a human among titans. Elias had been chosen as the Terran representative, one officer sent to advise and observe in the Scifi Dominion. Humans were new to the grand stage of galactic politics, and most species saw them as intriguing, irritating, or forgettable. Scifi saw none of those things. She saw something else entirely. The first time she witnessed Elias stand his ground against a room full of alien leaders who towered over him, refusing to back down, refusing to be silenced, something in her ancient heart shifted. Humans were not the strongest species, nor the most technologically advanced, but they possessed a defiance she recognized instantly, a defiance that could reshape civilizations. And so she kept him close, initially as an advisor, later as something far more personal. Bound not by politics, but by trust forged in fire. But with that trust came danger. For the Dominion had enemies, old rivals who believed the Empress had grown soft by valuing a human's counsel. They whispered treason, rallied armies, and invoked ancient rites of rebellion. Their goal was simple: break the Empress, eliminate the human who influenced her, and seize the throne. Elias refused to leave her side, which is why, on the storm-scarred plains of Varentha, he had fought until his body nearly gave out, to buy Scifi the time she needed to end the rebellion permanently. Middle, the Empress's command. Now, under the fading light of the moons, the Empress reached up and brushed her fingers gently along Elias's cheek. Her touch was cool, soothing, inhuman, but filled with something like reverence. "You risked your life again," she whispered. "You needed time. You could have died." "I knew that." Their gazes held, unbroken, unwavering. Scifi exhaled, a sound like starlight cracking. "There is something you must understand, Elias Ward of Earth," she said. "In the Dominion, power is not inherited. Power is proven. To rule, one must endure trials of mind, body, and spirit. Pain is a language here, one spoken by all who lead." "I've noticed," he muttered. Her expression softened even more. The next trial I face, I cannot face it alone.
Elias frowned.
You know I'm with you, whatever it is. No, she stepped closer, her voice lowering, her eyes shimmering with fierce intensity.
This is not a matter of politics or war.
This is a matter of the soul. If you stand with me in this, the Dominion will never again question my right to choose who I trust. And the cost. Cerethis looked away for a moment, a rare vulnerability from someone who could command entire fleets with a single word. The ritual bonds our fates.
The pain of it will be shared.
What I feel, you will feel. What breaks me, will try to break you.
Elias's chest tightened. So that's why you brought me out here, he said. To warn me.
No, she lifted his chin gently, forcing him to meet her eyes. To offer you a choice.
A long silence stretched between them.
The wind carried the smell of scorched earth and distant storms. Somewhere on the horizon, a dying cruiser released a final plume of smoke. Elias took a breath. You already know my answer.
Cerethis stepped closer still, so close that her voice became barely more than breath against his ear.
If it hurts, she whispered, let it hurt, just don't stop.
Elias felt the words ripple through him, not a command, but a vow. A promise that the path ahead would be hard, brutal even, but worth every moment. He nodded once.
Do it.
The trial, pain, memory, and revelation. Cerethis extended her hand. Her palm glowed with shifting violet light, ancient runes flickering to life across her skin. When Elias took her hand, the world fell away. There was no battlefield. No smoke. No wind. Only darkness. Warm, pulsing, alive. The ritual began. A surge of energy tore through him, as if every cell in his body were being rewritten. He felt her presence, her emotions, her fears buried beneath centuries of leadership. The crushing pressure of ruling an empire. The loneliness of power. The weight of responsibility. The sting of betrayal. The silent terror of choosing a human advisor and caring too deeply for what the galaxy would call weak. Elias staggered, but Cerethis caught him. Pain flared through both of them, shared, mirrored, magnified. She spoke into the void. Do not let go.
If you let go, the ritual fails.
He gritted his teeth.
I'm not letting go. Images flooded his mind, her childhood training, the throne carved from obsidian starstone, the council debates, the assassins she had fought, the war she had ended.
And then, he saw himself through her eyes. Small, frail, breakable, but burning with a fire that dwarfed entire star systems. That was the moment Elias realized something profound. To her, humanity was not weak. Humanity was something terrifyingly rare. A spark the Dominion had forgotten existed. The pain intensified. His knees buckled.
Elias, she breathed, voice trembling from their shared agony. Do not stop.
Not planning to. The darkness trembled, then shattered like glass.
Ending a new future.
Elias gasped as reality snapped back into place. He collapsed onto the scorched ground, chest heaving, sweat dripping down his face.
Cerethis knelt beside him, equally drained, her regal composure replaced by raw exhaustion.
It is done, she said softly. Elias blinked.
Did it work?
In answer, she extended her hand. A new mark, glowing faintly, had appeared on his forearm. The same mark glowed on hers. Bound. Recognized.
Undeniable. The Dominion will never question you again, the Empress said.
Or me. He exhaled shakily. Well, good. Because I don't think I can do that twice. A rare laugh escaped her, quiet, melodic, real. Cerethus lifted him gently to his feet. Come, Elias Ward. The future awaits. Another battlefield, he groaned. No, she said, taking his hand. A throne room. And this time you will not stand at my side as an advisor. He froze. Then what? As my chosen, she said simply. As someone the Dominion will fear and respect. As someone I trust not because you are strong, but because you refuse to break. The twin moons shone brighter. The smoke finally began to clear. Elias squeezed her hand. Then let's go rule a galaxy. Cerethus smiled, an expression seen by only one human in the universe. Together. And side by side, they walked toward the future, marked by pain, strengthened by fire, and bound by a vow spoken under dying stars. If it hurts, let it hurt. Just don't stop.